Okay, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh. Thank you, Brother Shaharan. And inshallah today I'm going to present Islamic Revivalism in Saudi Arabia, Development and Progress, and its impact on Malay society, but maybe that will be in the conclusion. So first of all, I will say I'm sorry if one of us or anyone who are believing in Wahhabism, so I'm sorry for that, because I'm going to talk about that. And because basically in Saudi Arabia is the, I would say the mazhab rasmi for the Saudi Arabia is Wahhabism. So right, so as an introduction, so I was speaking in English, and maybe it's a mixture of Malay or Indonesian. The conquest of the peninsula was a family venture based on a marriage partnership between the tribal leader Ibn Saud and Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab. And as soon as the Saudi First Nation was empowered in 1744, the pledge became reciprocal. The ulama or mufti from descendants of the Abdul Wahhab, Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab, or called as Ali Sheikh family, supported the regime which agreed to spread Wahhabism in return and controlling rulers in under Saudi tribe. So they had a treaty between King Saud and the Muhammad bin Wahhab before they gain the power. Then when they gain the power, that's the treaty is all about. So the power remain under the control of Saud family, and the mufti will be selected from the Ali Sheikh or the descendants of Muhammad bin Wahhab. All right, so this is the picture of Muhammad bin Saud and Muhammad bin Wahhab, right? So basically, who didn't know about the founder of the Saudi state, this is the picture that I got from Google, and this one is the founder of the Wahhabism. Wahhabism, right? Okay, so basically, I will focusing on Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab. He was born in 1115 Hijriah or 1702 in Al-Uyainah, the exact date to be unknown because they do not have any record. And he was begotten to a noble family of a Mushrikh or the tribe At-Tamim in Saudi Arabia. Muhammad's father and grandfather were scholars and judges of Al-Uyainah in the then he was memorized the Quran at the age of 11, and he achieved maturity about age 12, and he got married at same age as 12, and he started by giving lectures in the mosque in the area of Huraymila. Huraymila is one of area in the Uyainah, right? Okay, so basically when he tried to claim about the his thought, his fikiran, his mazhab, he got opponent is very mashhur, is very famous from Ahmad Zain Dahlan. He was Grand Mufti of Shafi'i, and he was the one of Masjid Haram Imam. And Ahmad Zain Dahlan, he wrote a book called Ad-Durar Al-Saniyah fi Radi ala Al-Wahhabiyah. When Muhammad bin Wahhab, he tried to preach he liked to ban the tawassul concept and the separation between he separate tawheed to Allah, like we know, like tawheed asma sifat and tawheed rububiyah and uluhiyah, sorry. So that was preached by Ibn Taymiyyah like centuries before. Then Muhammad bin Wahhab brought the idea and tried to preach people with that. And in every Friday sermon in the mosque in Ad-Dairiyah, Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab would say, whoever makes tawassul through the Prophet has committed an act of disbelief. So whoever commit a tawassul through Prophet, he's a kafir. So Ahmad Zain Dahlan said that his in Mazhab Shafi'i is in Mazhab Shafi'i, and although another Mazhab, They also have the idea of visiting grave and tawassul, because like Imam Shafi'i, he also commit tawassul, and that's why he wrote this book, and he comment on the Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab, right? But for me, Muhammad bin Wahhab is very clever. So when he got the opponents from other scholars in the Saudi Arabia, I would say in Saudi Arabia or in Hijaz region, then he partnered up with, as I said, he's partnered up with Muhammad bin Saud, and Muhammad bin Saud was in the power to gain the power between the area to fight with the Osmanis army. And then he managed to get the country, or he managed to set up a kingdom, and as we call as the Kingdom of Saudi Arabia, as the treaty going on until now. So you can see like right now is the current ruler, Malik Salman, is the one of the his son Muhammad bin Saud, no sorry, his grandson, but the blacks there, right? And now Grand Mufti of Saudi Arabia is also descendant of Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab. So the treaty is there until now, right? So the second figure of Saudi Arabia's Islamic Revivalism is called King Faisal As-Saud. He was born in 1906 until he was killed by his nephew on 1975. He was king of Saudi Arabia 2nd of November 1964 to 25th March 1972. What he did was he abolished the slavery in 1962, and presenter of BBC said he said that 1,682 slaves were freed at that time at cost to the government of $2,000 each. So he paid by the money of the government. Alright, so he's the one who were pan-Islamic, meaning that he's very anti-communism and pro-Palestinianism. So he's very anti with the Israel. Okay, so he attempted to limit the power of Islamic religious officials, because, as I said, Islamic officials was until now is Wahhabism. So he tried to limit the power, and he tried to protesting support that Israel received from the West. He led to oil embargo, which caused the 1973 oil crisis. So when he refused to sell the oil to Israel or to America, the price of the oil became was rising up, and because at that time it's very hard situation between the Arabs and the Israelis. And as you can remember about the perang between Mesir and between Egypt and Israel, and because of that, he was assassinated by his nephew Faisal bin Musaid. Because it's a long history, so I just conclude. Right. Then we have another. Sorry. Right. So we came to another important dates in Saudi Arabia is seizure of seizure of Masjid Haram. It was banned by Juhayman al-Utaybi. It was happened in the Grand Mosque in Masjid Haram for 2 weeks. It started from the New Year, 1400 Hijriah, and right now we are in 1442 Hijriah, so it was 42 years ago. It was surprised that Kingdom of Saudi Arabia took almost 2 weeks to resolve the attack. So if you can read the history, they came, Juhayman al-Utaybi came to Masjid Haram and kepung masjid tersebut, and dia tutup semua pintu-pintu, dan dia suruh orang-orang untuk membai'ah Muhammad bin Abdullah al-Qahtani, iaitu abang ipar ataupun adik ipar Muhammad Al-Mutaibi sebagai Imam Mahdi. Jadi sesiapa yang tidak membai'ah Muhammad bin Abdullah Al-Qahtani akan ditembak dan mati di situ. Tapi yang surprise-nya ialah kerajaan Arab Saudi menunggu 2 minggu untuk melancarkan attack dan masuk ke Masjid Haram tu. Jadi tuan-tuan boleh bayangkan macam mana keadaan Masjid Haram itu pada 2 minggu lah apa yang jadi. Dan disebabkan kenapa 2 minggu, why they have to wait 2 weeks, because they seek help from France. Mereka minta bantuan dari Perancis. So when those army because those army were Christians, so they cannot enter Masjid Haram, so they have to convert those armies to Islam, to become Muslim, then they can go in the Masjid Haram. So I don't know if the army is still Muslim or they revert to Christianity. Wallahu alam. Right, so this one is the newest movement in Saudi Arabia. Is called as Sahua Movement. This group opposed the presence of US troops on the Arabian Peninsula. So right now we know that US is very having a good relationship between the Arab countries like UAE, Qatar, Bahrain, and also actually Saudi Arabia, but they do not announce that they have a very good relationship between Saudi Arabia and also US. So it was led by Safar Al-Hawli Al-Ghamidi and Salman Al-Quda, right? So these clerics, these ulama was jailed because Muhammad bin Salman treat them as maybe is a threat to the country. So as Salman Al-Uda said in his Twitter, Rabbana alhamdulillah nuhsi thana'an alayka anta kama athnayta ala nafsik, Allah alif bayna qulubihim lima fihi khairu syu'ubihim. Alright, so our Lord to you. Alright, so basically this Twitter is because Muhammad bin Salman called someone from the Qatar during at that time. It was 2017 when the blockage of Qatar occurred at that time. So when they receive Muhammad bin Salman received, or he called someone in Qatar, so Salman Al-Uda, he knew about that and he tweeted this one, and you know what happened to him? The next thing is he was prison. He was jailed because of these words. And also Salman Al-Uda, he was jailed as well because of he was alleged with anti-government activities and famously delivered a public rebuke of Osama bin Laden on live television. And Al-Qarni also, he was jailed because he was alleged as well as anti-government activities as well. And the last one, Ali Al-Umari, he is a very famous in Saudi, and he was called for more rights for women and campaign against violent extremism, but the Saudi government say that they are threat to the country. Okay, so the current issues, like we have politics, religion, education. So politics, we have right now is very famous with the relationship between, is a normalization relationship between the Arab countries and Israel. So a few countries have naturalized, such as UAE and Bahrain, but the Saudis, they do not announce that they are they did the nationalism. But as we know, they have because Muhammad bin Salman is very his Qibla is to the west, is not to the east. So he's very, very keen. He's very close with the US. Back then was Donald Trump and also the Israel Prime Minister. Okay, so in the religion, because in the religion, it's COVID, so we can't go to Umrah or to perform Umrah or Hajj. And education, as if you might read in the one of the news about Saudi Arabia, they try to teach the Saudis Hebrew language, bahasa Hebrew, bahasa yang digunakan di Israel. So so basically this is like his attitude towards the education in Saudi Arabia. But Allah A'la, I don't know how they implement, and what's the impact of the Islamic Revivalism is where, because I said that Saudi Arabia, the mazhab rasmi, the mazhab rasmi for Saudi Arabia is Wahhabi, and many of the graduates, I do not say all, but many of the graduates from the Saudi Arabia graduated from Saudi Arabia's university, either in Qura in Makkah or in the Medina. They try to expand the culture of Wahhabism in our local community, such as in Malaysia we have our Wahhabi community, and also in Indonesia as well. So what they did in our society is they try to promote what Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab said, just like you don't have to berdoa, you don't have to baca kunut in subuh, because we as Malay, or in our Malay archaeology, we do accept Shafi'i as the mazhab, the rasmi mazhab for us. And when this Wahhabism movement came to us, they tried to cut everything. It's not like cut, but like to limit everything. So we cannot go to graveyard, we cannot ziarah kubur, we cannot do tawassul, we can't do many things, because it said like Muhammad bin Abdul Wahhab said that there is so banned this one, and this one. So like in Malaysia itself, we have one of the states that it's not clearly mentioned about they having a Wahhabism mind or ideology, but we can see that the fatwas given by the state is concerning, or is lebih apa kita kata, lebih kepada nak menuju kepada Wahhabism ini. Jadi for me, if you do not know the history, so you are, kalau kita tak tahu history, maksud dia ini ialah kepercayaan buta, from my perspective. So that's all from me. Thank you.